Howdy, folks, and welcome to Cowboys versus Ninjas, the show where the Wild West meets the mystical East. I'm Adrian, your host.
And I'm Julia.
And we're going to be riding shotgun through some seriously awesome stories.
Oh, yeah, we're talking cowboys and ninjas. Every day will bring you a new adventure.
Packed with action and intrigue.
So if you're into gunslingers and samurai,
make sure you rate and follow
for more Cowboys versus Ninjas.
Now, today's story is called Cactus and Conjuring.
It features a classic Western hero
with a bit of a supernatural twist.
It's a real wild ride, so hold on to your hats.
We're introduced to Jebediah.
Jeb
Stone, a rancher who's more comfortable in the saddle than, well,
anywhere else.
Pretty much. But Jeb's life takes a turn.
For strange.
Yeah, when he finds something unexpected on his property.
It all starts with some trouble on the ranch. You know, typical varmints.
But when Jeb tracks him down,
he stumbles upon an old abandoned mine.
A classic Western trope.
Always hints at something more.
But instead of critters,
he finds something way more mysterious.
Glowing runes.
Strange symbols.
Humming with energy.
Curiosity gets the better of him.
And let's just say,
things get a little magical.
Now this is where the story really leans into that fish-out-of-water trope.
Jeb, the cowboy,
suddenly face-to-face with the supernatural.
Forced to confront a reality that challenges everything he thought he knew.
The mind reveals a shocking truth.
Jeb comes from a long line of wizards.
And a curse has been placed on his town.
Now he's not just dealing with pesky critters.
He's got magic coursing through his veins.
Like it or not.
It's this fascinating juxtaposition, right?
You have this rugged, no-nonsense cowboy suddenly grappling with mystical powers and ancient curses.
Classic clash of worlds. And how does Jeb react?
Well, he's a cowboy.
Hold your horses. Yeah. This is way out of my league.
But fate has other plans.
Because if discovering he's a wizard wasn't enough,
a spectral stagecoach appears.
Known as the Death Coach.
Terrorizing the town.
Leaving chaos in its wake.
The Death Coach is such a great example of how the story blends Western and fantasy.
You have this classic Western setting.
But then you toss in a terrifying supernatural being straight out of a gothic horror novel.
It's a unique and unsettling combination. Skeletal horses with eyes like burning embers. Talk about a spooky sight.
But Jeb,
ever the resourceful cowboy,
decides to fight fire with fire.
Or in this case, spectral threats with his trusty lasso.
This is where we see Jeb's cowboy ingenuity blend with his newfound abilities.
He infuses his lasso with magic from the mine,
turning a simple tool into a weapon against the supernatural.
It's like watching a magical rodeo. He snags those ghostly horses with his glowing lasso, and they disappear into thin air.
The town is safe. At least for now.
But this is only the beginning of Jeb's journey.
Exactly. He's just scratched the surface of his powers and the mysteries surrounding his family's past. There's a whole lot more to uncover.
Yeah, and I, for one,
am eager to see how Jeb handles it. Welcome back to Cowboys versus Ninjas, where the frontier spirit meets the mystical arts.
We left off with Jebediah Stone, our accidental wizard.
Having just used his trusty lasso to wrangle some spectral horses.
That's right. Our cowboys traded cattle rustling for curse busting, and he's just getting started.
Yeah.
It's like watching a classic Western hero walk straight into a fantasy novel.
And remember the Death Coach? It was just a symptom of a much deeper problem. That curse on Jeb's town, it's still out there lurking like a gunslinger in the shadows.
So what does a cowboy with newfound magical abilities do?
Rides off into the sunset.
Well, yeah, eventually. But first he heads straight to the source of the problem, that mysterious mine on Vulture Ridge. I gotta say, if I were Jeb, I might be a little hesitant to go back to the place that kicked off my magical awakening.
Yeah, but not our hero.
Nope, not Jeb.
That's the beauty of Jeb's character. He embodies that classic cowboy grit. He doesn't back down from a challenge, even when it involves things like glowing runes and talking mines.
And luckily, he's got Maggie by his side.
The sharp-tongued bartender from the Broken Spur Salon.
She's more than just a friendly face slinging drinks. She's a walking encyclopedia of local lore and a crack shot with a shotgun.
Oh, yeah. Maggie adds a fantastic dynamic to the story. She's the perfect blend of pragmatism and wisdom, grounding Jeb as he navigates this unfamiliar world of magic.
So Jeb and Maggie head back to that eerie mine, and wouldn't you know, it's glowing even brighter than before.
You can practically feel the magical energy crackling in the air.
It's like the mine itself is a character, you know?
A source of both wonder and danger, drawing Jeb deeper into its secrets.
And inside the mine, they stumble upon something even more intriguing than those glowing runes. Imagine a hidden chamber tucked away deep within the earth, filled with dusty old books, bubbling potions, and artifacts that whisper tales of forgotten magic.
It's like stepping into a secret library of the arcane, a treasure trove of knowledge that's been waiting for Jeb to unlock it.
I bet Jeb's thinking, well, this sure beats my saddleback. But as he explores this hidden chamber, he begins to piece together the puzzle of his family history, the origins of that pesky curse, and the true extent of his own magical potential.
This is where we really start to see Jeb's transformation. He dives into those ancient books, absorbing knowledge like a sponge, experimenting with spells, and even coming up with some magical tricks of his own.
It's not all dusty books and cryptic symbols, though. Jeb's still a cowboy at heart. He figures out how to incorporate his trusty lasso into his magic,
Blending his old life with his new abilities.
in a way that's uniquely Jeb.
This fusion of Western practicality and supernatural power, it's what makes Jeb such a compelling character. He's not just a wizard in a cowboy hat.
Right.
He's forging his own path, creating a style of magic that's as unique as the setting itself.
It's like he's inventing a whole new school of magic, cowboy wizardry 101. I bet that class would be packed.
Definitely. And as Jeb deepens his understanding of magic, he uncovers the truth behind that curse plaguing his town. It turns out it's all tied to a powerful entity, a force of darkness that was imprisoned long ago by his ancestors.
Of course. There's always a big bad lurking in the shadows, right? And this entity, it's not happy about being locked up. It's plotting its revenge, eager to unleash chaos and darkness upon the unsuspecting town.
And now it's up to Jeb to stop it. He's gone from an ordinary rancher to the only one standing between his town and utter destruction.
Talk about pressure.
It's the ultimate showdown brewing, cowboy magic versus ancient evil, and the fate of the entire town hangs in the balance. What could be more exciting than that?
Howdy, partners. Welcome back to Cowboys versus Ninjas. It's high noon in our showdown between Jeb Stone,
Our accidental wizard.
that's right, and the ancient evil that's about to break loose on his town.
The tension is thicker than a bowl of chili at a chuck wagon cook-off.
Jeb's gone from roping steers to wrestling with ancient curses, and now he's facing the ultimate test.
Remember that powerful entity imprisoned by Jeb's ancestors? Well, it's breaking free, folks. And it's not in the mood for a friendly howdy.
No siree. It's time for a showdown.
Jeb's journey has taken him from reluctant magic user.
The town's last hope.
Talk about a classic hero's journey. He's embraced his destiny, and now he has to face the consequences.
And this ain't happening in some far-off mystical land. This showdown is going down right in the heart of Jeb's town, with saloons and stables as the backdrop.
It's a brilliant way to ground the fantastical elements of the story. This isn't some epic battle in a distant realm. It's happening in a place that feels familiar.
Adds a layer of realism to the whole supernatural conflict.
Exactly.
So picture this. This shadowy entity bursts forth, all swirling darkness and malevolent energy. Folks are scattering fear in their eyes. But Jeb stands his ground, Stetson firm on his head, that magic-infused lasso glowing in his hand.
He's the epitome of a Western hero facing down impossible odds with courage and determination.
But he's not just relying on his cowboy skills anymore.
He's weaving spells, conjuring protective barriers, and even calling upon the spirits of his ancestors for guidance.
It's a true clash of worlds. The grit of the Wild West meeting the raw power of magic. And Jeb's right in the center of it, holding his own against a force of pure darkness.
And this entity, it doesn't hold back. It throws everything it's got at Jeb's shadowy tendrils illusions. Even those creepy spectral horses from the death coach.
Oh no, not them again.
They make a comeback. It's a visual spectacle. A whirlwind of magic and chaos.
But Jeb, he's learned a thing or two on his journey. He knows that brute force ain't enough.
He has to use his head.
Outsmart this entity.
To find its weakness.
Exploit it.
This is where Jeb's cowboy ingenuity really shines. He uses his lasso to create diversions, his knowledge of the town and the surrounding land to set traps. He even uses some good old-fashioned trickery to outmaneuver his opponent.
He's like a chess player, strategically planning his moves, turning the familiar surroundings into his own personal arena.
And in the end, it's not some flashy spell that saves the day.
Really?
It's Jeb's quick thinking, his connection to the land, his understanding of his enemy, and yes, maybe a little bit of luck.
But he pulls it off.
He does. Jeb banishes the entity back to its prison, restoring peace to his town. He emerges from the chaos not just as a cowboy, but as a protector, a guardian of his people and their secrets. He's a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of courage and resilience.
You know Cactus and Conjuring? It's a story that reminds us that heroes can come from the most unexpected places. And it's about embracing who you are, even when that includes magical abilities you never knew you had.
And that's a wrap on another episode of Cowboys versus Ninjas. We hope you enjoyed this wild ride through the world where six-shooters and sorcery collide.
We'll be back tomorrow with another thrilling tale of cowboys, ninjas, and everything in between. So saddle up, folks, and get ready for more action-packed adventures.
Until then, keep your boots shined, your Stetsons steady.
And your minds open to the endless possibilities of the Cowboys versus Ninjas world. Happy trails.